Splatoon 3. I love that game. Some inching towards the 40-hour mark on that game. I've beaten the story mode, well on my way into B rank. It just consumed a lot of my time, and my Switch's lifetime just has been put into that game. So there are a few things that I really want to discuss, and I hope that the developers are aware of. I'm seeing videos of people complaining about certain weapons, you know, being OP and being able to kill people through walls, which I think is really unfair. But here are probably my, I want to say 4 top things that I think would make Splatoon 3 a better game. And these aren't, for example, huge design changes. Of course not. I'm not saying, you know, remake the game. These are things that are easily fixable in my opinion, and that would make Splatoon 3, what is already a good game, an extremely amazing made game. First of all, connectivity. Just make it better. I know that sounds very generic, and I know that sounds very redundant, but let me dive a little more into that point, what I mean by making it better. It sounds to me, at first I thought the connection issues were just a thing of this being a new game, but when out of a 2-hour session, I get 4 or 5 communication errors, that just to me makes it sound like the servers aren't set up right. There's an issue with the way that the game does matchmaking, whatever it may be. But to me, it just doesn't seem very consistent. Whenever there's a communication error, there's sometimes even communication errors when you're trying to get a match started, even before you even join a lobby already. How is there a communication error if you're constantly connected to the internet? It's just weird to me. It makes it very weird. And also sometimes it disconnects for no apparent reason. There's just a disconnect, and that's it. That is all there is. And it's just a waste of time. However, there is a one part of connection issues that really annoys me, and this has to do with rewarding and punishing. Please, Nintendo, make it so only the people who disconnected are actually punished, because sometimes even if you aren't essentially being punished for someone else disconnecting or someone from the other team disconnecting, you still end up with no XP or no money after a, let's say, 2-minute match. And thus you're kind of essentially wasting your time and indirectly being punished. Where's the logic in that? Why is it designed that way? I do not understand it. Even the explanation that Nintendo gives you whenever there's a disconnect, they'll say that the other team is going to get a loss and you're not going to be affected. But you coming back to the lobby and not getting XP, not getting cash, not getting anything for your time, that sort of sounds to me like a punishment, because anybody can disconnect with 5 seconds on the clock. So you just wasted a lot of time. You just essentially wasted over 4 minutes of your time and got nothing in return. Now, that to me is very unfair and illogical in nature. So if there's a way to at least give the players who at least scored some points, made it so their team got closer to winning or whatever, it doesn't matter. Even if the XP points have no bearing on the actual outcome, at least it's something, and it makes it feel a lot more fair for, you know, you putting at least some effort into actually playing the game and not being salty about the results and disconnecting, is all I'm saying. Number 2, and this has to do with communication, the pinging system. Of course, you can tell your teammate to come this way. You can tell your teammate to booyah or mark an ouch to tell him that, hey, I died here. There's probably a lot of people here in this area, so watch out. But it's not enough. There's no pinging. It is limited to your location on the map. Now, I think Apex Legends, if you're a big fan of shooters, I'm sure you know about Apex Legends. If you're just a general gaming fan, you know what Apex Legends is. Apex Legends mastered this across the board. Their pinging system made it so easy to communicate difficult messages in an easier way. pings with messages such as enemy here whenever an enemy is hiding under ink, for example, or flanking from behind. Or how about even a defend home base when your team is preoccupied with battling the center and haven't noticed that an enemy player has made their way to your base. There's no way to communicate that right now in Splatoon unless you're all in voice chat. And I'm not talking about the Nintendo app, I'm talking about being on Discord, because let's be honest, anybody who plays multiplayer games online, Nintendo multiplayer games, you're on Discord half the time. I mean, the possibilities are endless with the pinging system, and at least something that's a little more sophisticated to let your teammates know to communicate with people who you're just being randomly assigned to in a team. It just make it easier to communicate and make it easier for your team to succeed. I think that the possibilities here are endless and could actually make the game a lot better by having more concise and clear communication. And last but not least, these are just quality of life improvements. The game needs some of them. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the game despite this video, but its shortcomings are things that shouldn't even have to exist in the first place. A big one is the inability to exit a matchmaking lobby, for example, unless you close the game, and sometimes you even risk getting punished for doing that action, but it's the only option you get to stop the matchmaking process. At times it feels like they designed it this way because the way the game matchmakes and whatever maths the game is doing in the back end, it feels to me like it's that way of doing things is so antiquated that they actually need a confirmed connect before even attempting at finding other people for you to play with. Like, they want to lock you in so the antiquated math in the back end works. That has never made sense to me, because I played Call of Duty, I've played Warzone, I played all of these massive multiplayer online games, and somebody joins the lobby, they don't want to be part of this lobby, they can log out, they can quit, and they won't be punished, and that same lobby is gonna keep looking for people to play with. Why can't you do that in Splatoon 3? I don't understand. Why are you locked? Once you hit play again, even if it was by accident, you're locked to that lobby, and the only way to exit that lobby before the match even starts is to close the game. Make it make sense. I think making it so you can leave a matchmaking lobby and not the initial one, because you can't leave the initial one if you just come up into the lobby and hit find a match. That first initial one before you even connect with anybody else, that one you can cancel. But if you're on a squad, you've already played a match and you hit yeah, keep going, but you change your mind, you can't exit that lobby without actually closing the game and risking some form of punishment. I think giving the players more freedom to exit these sort of lobbies will decrease the amount of actual disconnects, which brings me back to my first point, connectivity issues. You know, this will actually decrease it because now people who don't want to play, or people who change their minds mid matchmaking, can actually leave and everybody's happy. Nintendo, please do not repeat the same issues, the same mistakes that games such as Animal Crossing and all your other multiplayer games have had in the past, because you have something great here. Everybody loves Splatoon 3. It is your newest IP. Well, one of the newest, so to speak. And it's a great hit. It's a success. Please don't let it go down the same path that some of these past Nintendo multiplayer games have gone through, because I absolutely love Splatoon 3. It is my favorite multiplayer game right now, and it just annoys me to have to experience these things when I know it's way in your capabilities for you to fix these things. Please. But folks, you let me know down in the comments below what you think Splatoon 3 needs for it to become a better game. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs down, because every single bit helps. Links to my socials are down below. Please make sure to follow me on Twitter, where I basically spend every single hour of my day, and where I spend just yelling to the void that is social media. As well, make sure to follow me on Twitch, where I try and stream pretty regularly. those things might change. I might start streaming on YouTube. I'm testing the waters here and there, so we'll see. But please make sure to follow me on Twitch as well. Links to join the Discord server where we talk anything and everything gaming, anime, TVs, movies, anything that might interest you as my viewer. Link is down in the description below. But folks, I've been True Fernie. Please take care of each other, but most importantly, watch out for sloshers. Watch out for those walls, because they do not matter. It's Splatoon 3. All right, peace.